everybody. This is Mike with Z Motorsports, and it's about 5:30 in the morning, and I thought I'd do a quick little video of some driving impressions of my new powertrain in our Jeep. So this is a reminder, we put an L94, which is an all-aluminum 6.2 liter GM LS V8 into along with a 6L80 transmission, 6-speed transmission, and we put that into our 2011 JKUR Rubicon. So it's got a little over 500 miles on it now, and trouble-free miles, I might add. And you can see by the dash pictures here, we've got no dash lights on. It's been running perfectly. The thing is, it's impressive. It really is. So let me just start off by saying the 6.2, in my opinion, is, now that I've got about 500 miles on it, may be a little much for most JKs. I mean, mine's heavy. I'm 6,000 pounds. Most of that is bumpers, winch, tires. I've got a pretty good sized toolbox that I carry around in the back with tools and so forth in it. I don't have 1 tons under it. I've got a Dynatrack in the front, all chrome moly shaft, RCV in the front, chrome mollies in the rear. I'm geared at 456 on 37s, which I think is perfect. At 70 miles an hour, I'm sitting right at 2,000 RPM, and it just purrs down the interstate. Pulling away from a stop, you saw back there, I mean, you just touch the accelerator and it goes up to 2,600 RPM at very, very light throttle and shifts smooth and progresses through the gears. It's such a night and day difference from that anemic 3.8. And the 3.8 wasn't a bad engine. You get the bad rap, but to be honest with you, I think the transmission was the boat anchor, basically, of the configuration. Had it been even the 5-speed they put in the Pentastar, had it been that 5-speed, or definitely even a 6-speed, or even the newer 8-speeds, I think it would have been a much more viable engine for the JK platform. But it was what Chrysler had available at the time, and they couldn't make the Hemi work for crash rating purposes, and they, rather than come up with something that was more suited, like an aluminum engine like the LS is, they just decided to go with the minivan motor. So it wasn't the best option, but it's what they had available. So anyway, let's see, like I said, a little over 500 miles on it now, and again, very impressed. It's with the mild-manneredness of it. It'll sit and idle at 550 RPM all day long, smooth as silk, and you just let your foot off the brake, just touch the accelerator, and like I said, it just barely touch it, and it smooths out 2,000 RPM range. Shifts, like I say, there was probably 24 or so, and it shifts, and it just shifts so smooth. 40 miles an hour, lumbers along at, there goes into 6, so now like 1,200 RPM at 40, and I think 50, I think I was at around 1,450 the other day when I was out cruising around. So again, at 70 on the interstate, it's right at 2,000. So I'm going to get on the on-ramp up here, and I've got a comparison video of the 3.8, so you can kind of see as a good comparison. But like I said, I'm going to catch a red light, so this will be from a dead stop. And I've got another video clip I'll throw in there of the 3.8, and you can see the difference. So like I say, we're starting, and this is an incline. This on-ramp is an incline, and then it merges onto the freeway, which is an incline. So I'm barely touching the accelerator. I'm not pushing on it hard. I'm not even quarter throttle. And it's upshifting, going up the on-ramp, which it never did before. If I wanted to match it, I'd probably already be at 70 right now. But it's just effortlessly merging onto the freeway. There's 60 at the on-ramp, merging in with traffic, 65, and I'm at cruising speed. third gear screaming right now at about 65, and at the top of this hill coming up, right about in, yeah, here's where we're coming up on the 31st Street overpass sign, so just cresting, and this is where it would finally go into overdrive. It was right here when it leveled out and started dropping down the other side. So huge improvement, and like I said, that was mash on the other one. This is, I'm not even quarter throttle, and it's just lumbering right along, just beautiful. So overall impressions, very, very impressed. Would I have been happy with the 5.3 that I was originally thinking about going with? Excuse me. It would have been an improvement over the 3.8, absolutely, but it still would have worked it. In a light JK with, you know, plastic bumpers and stock tires and wheels and everything, yeah, 5.3 would work great. But I'm 6,000 pounds. I just don't think the 5.3 would have been the best option. I was kind of leaning towards the 6.0. I think the 6.0 probably was a really good fit for what I was looking for. I just couldn't find any that weren't super high miles, and I mean, I didn't expect one with 10,000 miles, but if I could have found one with under 100, even around 100, I think I would have, you know, I would have picked one up. But just couldn't find them around here with less than, you know, I found 2 of them, and they were well over 2.5 already. 240, I think, was one. One was 260 something. So just way too many miles for my liking to do a transplant. And then I stumbled across this L94 crate engine, and it just made all the sense in the world. So again, it's probably a little much, but it just does everything so effortlessly. The downside is it does require premium fuel, and it does require synthetic oil and oil changes, so you are going to pay a little more at the pump, so to speak, but it should net some decent economy numbers. Right now I've only run really one tank through it, and I'm getting pretty comparable to what I was getting before out of the 3.8. So, and some of that was not really pushing the engine, not really pushing it hard, but I was varying the RPM a little bit, so I wasn't really driving it rationally like I usually do on a daily basis. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw up a couple quick impressions here, and you can see it'll sit on that thermostat. It's sitting on that thermostat. It's been sitting on there for a few miles now, and it'll sit on that thermostat all the way to work. I have 15-mile commute each morning, so I don't suspect this will really change. Fuel trim numbers have been looking good. They've been in the low single digits, so very, very impressive. I don't know what else more to say other than I'm very impressed with the swap, and I highly recommend it. At least if you're in a heavy JK, I'd say I recommend at least going with the 6.0. But anything's going to be better than the 3.8. It looks at home in the engine bay. There's no, I mean, you pop the hood and it looks, to be honest with you, other than the air filter, it pretty much looks factory. So I'll post more videos of it. Somebody asked me about doing a walk around, and I figured maybe one day I'll clean the Jeep up and do a walk around video. But for the most part, I'm going to call this engine swap a success. Like I said, I've got about 550 miles on it now, and I expect to get a lot of miles out of this combination, and both on and off road. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. I have a green light here, so I'm going to be able to round this. Again, they're about 20 miles an hour, and it gets into second gear. There's 3,500 at about 37 miles per hour. I'm not mashing it, I'm holding it down just about to the point where it wants to downshift again. There's 57 at about 5,300 RPM. And it kind of flattens out. And again, we're still climbing the grade. There's 65 at 36-ish 100 RPM. 31st Street sign that I'm at 70 and about 3,800 RPM. And it won't shift into overdrive until I get to the next 31st Street sign, which is at the top of the grade. It's just holding right there at about 3,800 RPM at about 70, 71 maybe. And there's the 31st Street sign we're just going under now, and it shifted in to overdrive at 70 at about 2650. So